This video was brought to you by EA Game Changers. Please note, the following is not final software and is subject to change. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today, you guys, I'm going to show you how to use the brand new pond tool for the base game. Currently, the only way that I'm able to show off this brand new pond tool is through cottage living. But yes, y'all heard me correctly. This is a feature that will be coming to the base game. Now, underneath the build by UI, there is going to be a brand new selection. I think, I'm not sure. This might have been there already, but there will be some brand new items within it. And that is the outdoor water decor tab. And then underneath the terrain tools, I don't know if it's just me, but things are looking a little different down here. Like, I feel like the sliders and the selection for the brushes definitely have more range for sure. Like, look how big these can get. Super crazy. Also, I feel like maybe possibly this might be different too. Maybe I'm just tripping. I'm not sure. What we're going to do is we are going to create ourselves a little pond, but I did want to show you guys that there is a water tool that has been added as well. So for the options that you have with the pond water tool, essentially is to raise the water. You can lower the water. You can also fill to a specific height. You can remove it completely if you want to. But again, you are going to need to play around with the terrain manipulation to be able to create a basin to fill up for your pond. So for me personally, I'm not a pro at this at all, and it's not super hard. I would definitely suggest kind of going in at the lowest speed and maybe a medium circle brush size for starters. And all I like to do is just tap, 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 tap a little bit. And it is kind of hard to see your shape. I'm not sure if there's like a way that I can like disable these yellow pieces here, but I do find that going in with a very slow brush speed makes things a little bit easier. And you'll notice these ridges too. So these ridges are where you can fill up your pond to, and I'll just show those off a little bit more in detail here in just a second. So I'm pretty okay with the way that the shape is right now. Maybe I'll just make it a little bit bigger over here. But then we're gonna dive straight on in to the water tool, right? So for the water tool, all I need to do to fill it up is click once, and it'll fill to the lowest height. And then the more you click it, the higher you can fill it up to. And you can even overflood it if you wish. But I feel like right here is probably like the appropriate amount. But the cool thing is if you wanted to do it kind of in increments, of course, you can just tap, tap, tap. Or you can hold down your water bucket by pushing down on the left mouse tab, and then it'll fill it automatically. To lower the water, I think all you need to do is press the left mouse tab and then hit control on your keyboard so that it's like one fluid motion and you don't actually need to switch in between the different modes. That's also really cool too. And going into the whole fill for height thing, this is what it looks like to remove all of the water. You can remove the individual, oh my god, the individual like little pods. It kind of looks like a pea pod here. I didn't know that. But yeah, going into the fill to height, like I said earlier, you'll notice these little like ridges here on the basin, and you can like fill them, I think, to a specific height, or you can like fill it all the way. Again, I'm not super familiar, but that's like just a general idea of how that goes. Another cool thing that I did notice is once you've filled up your pond, even if it's not like super big, and you go in with your terrain tool, you can get like a better idea of how the finished shape is going to be by just adding in some more depth to your pond with the terrain tool. So even though you can't really see too well, being able being able to kind of add in that terrain depth a little bit later with your pond already filled really helps a lot. The next thing I'd like to do is add a little more definition surrounding the pond's edge. To do this, I'm going to go into my paint tools. We're going to select dirt and sand. I personally like the Smarter Starter Soil, but you could use anything that your heart desires. For terrain painting in general, it just depends on what I'm working on. But I like to kind of start with the lowest amount of softness because you can easily add, but it's super duper hard to take away. And I do believe like blending and feathering is everything when it comes to getting a natural result. So for ponds specifically, I kind of like to beef up the circle size a little bit and then maybe go down just one more and focus my tool in the middle of the pond. So that essentially what is happening here, hold on, I didn't even select the right thing. So essentially is happening here, we're just kind of like feathering out the pond's edge just to give it a little more of like a kind of like a dirt bank, I guess. And then you can just do this however you like. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. But I just like that. I think it just looks a little more like natural and authentic. Speaking of natural and authentic, I do not like the color of the water at all whatsoever. But the cool thing is underneath the outdoor water decor category, you're gonna have some brand new waters to play with. I think these four are brand new, but don't quote me on that. I don't remember what it looked like before. The first one is Pond Scum. The second one is really, really pretty. It is called Mossy Water. I love this for kind of like a swamp effect. And then we have Leafy Water, which is also really pretty too. But my personal favorite is just the plain Jane Pond Water. And believe it or not, to change the water, it actually costs money, which is kind of bizarre to me. So there's going to be two new sub-tabs. The first one is Pond Objects, and we've got a few different things in here that we can actually decorate our ponds with. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, there is a lot more to choose from in debug mode, which I will show you in just a second. But if you're not into using debug, we've got things like the bog log. We also have Jerry's reeds, a few different fishing signs, one that's pre-stocked apparently. We also got some large lily pads, colorful lily pads, a smattering of lily pads, and water lilies in bloom. There's also this cute little wake up and spill the water if you have cottage living. Now, the cool thing about the lily pads and also this little bog log is that you can enable animals, turtles for the bog log, and frogs for the lily pads to jump on them. So you can kind of bring your pond to life that way. Again, we'll dive into those more in just a second. The other category is pond effects. Now, this is actually really cool too because you can kind of create this essence of wildlife. You have different effects in here like dragonfly swarm, we've got tadpoles, country fish, mosquitoes, fireflies, and then we also have Mr. Ducklesworth, mallard ducks, and a pair of swans, as well as some unidentified submerged objects and gators. I'm not totally the biggest fan of using the pond objects to decorate my ponds. I just feel like they don't look that realistic. But we're gonna use them first, and then I'll show you some of the debug options, which I think you guys are gonna like a hell of a lot better. But anyways, we're gonna go in with some of these reeds. Originally, I thought that they would kind of be nice to align the pond's edge, but unfortunately, they kind of like to hover a little bit, and it just doesn't look that like natural to me personally. Again, it's not the worst thing that you ever did see, but it isn't really the best either. So anyways, just go ahead, kind of decorate your pond a little bit. I'm just gonna do this with you guys so that you can kind of get an idea of how easy it is. I mean, again, it doesn't look that great, but hey, it isn't too bad. I'm also gonna go in maybe with let's snag some of the green grass, because obviously there's a lot of like, you know, stuff around the pond. I might actually do this off camera and then come back to you guys showing you what I've done. But also I kind of want to do this with you too. So if it doesn't look that good, this is kind of what I mean by just using like the basic items that you get with pond objects, and also incorporating some of the other elements too in the base game, like rocks and stuff. I mean, I guess you can make it work, but I'm not like the biggest fan, to be honest. Okay, so now that we've kind of got like the general idea, maybe we'll go in with some lily pads. I do like to scale these up a little bit. I don't think it matters too much when it comes to like the animations of the animals. They still seem to work, but maybe have like a couple that aren't like super scaled up, just so if anything does go wrong, it won't be that big of a deal. So there we go. We've got like a couple things kind of happening in here. Now you're gonna need one of these fishing signs in the water to be able to actually fish. The thing is you're going to have to stock it yourself, which is kind of annoying, but there's like a few different places that you can actually go ahead and snag fish from. So we'll get into that again in just a moment. I'm gonna add in a couple of these logs, just maybe like I don't want to make it look too crazy. And then we're going to go into the pond effects. Now I'm going to show you pretty much every effect. Now, again, I wouldn't do this if I was really building a pond for me, but just for fun. We're going to put in some dragonflies. We've got some tadpoles. Let's go and sprinkle in some country fish. You will not be able to eat or catch these. They're just for decoration purposes only. We're also going to go and put in maybe some mosquitoes. I wonder if you have like outdoor retreat, if those mosquitoes will actually affect you, or they're just going to be like for decoration. Fireflies come out at night, obviously, like around 7 or 8 p.m. In case you guys are wondering, we're going to put in some of these little ducks too. I'm going to put in every single type of duck. I love ducks in Windenburg, and now that I could actually have these in my own backyard, I'm pretty excited about it. So the last thing that we need to add in is some unidentified objects, and then a gator. Let's put the gator right here. I kind of want to make sure that I have enough room for him. And I think, you guys, that should be just about it. Once you go into live mode, that's really when the magic starts to begin. So as you guys can see, it's a little bit cluttered right now, but we've got our swans, we have our little duckaroos, and then over here are our mesquite skeets, and I do believe I ended up putting the dragonflies over there, and hopefully a little bit later y'all will be able to see our fireflies, because again, it isn't nighttime. Now, in order to be able to have our turtles sun on the log, we actually need to enable it, and there he is. Oh my god, these turtles are so cute. I love the little water droplets coming off his small little body. I don't know, I think this is such a nice little way to kind of add in some more nature, you know what I mean, into your world, into your home lot. I love the fact that they went in and added these little animations, and the fact that people like actually get to everybody who has the base game gets to enjoy this. I think it's amazing. I love watching the frogs hop on the lily pads. That is so sweet. And then if you take a close look under the water, you might be able to see some of the country fish. I did put our little tadpoles over here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see those because they're like super duper tiny. Wait, hold on. No, that's another fish. I'm not seeing the tadpoles, but I do believe that they're in there somewhere. And then, oh, there's our gator. There's our alligator. I love this. I would definitely use the alligator in like Strangerville or something. I think that would be absolutely an incredible idea. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to show off the what is it called, the little, I guess this is like a little fishing sign. It's big too, you might want to scale it down. I think it'll still work if you scale it down, but basically once you have some fish in your inventory, so like right now our turtle has 2 perches and he also has a salmon, you'll be able to stock your pond with those fish. Select the fish you want stocked in this pond. Discover more fish in your household collections to gain more options. So we're going to put in both of our fish. Keep in mind we have 3 in total. And then once you've gone ahead and stocked your pond, you can manage the fish in your pond. I think you'd be able to maybe like remove them possibly. After stocking your beautiful pond with fish, you're now able to go fishing. And now here's the thing, you can also play in the water and you can look for frogs. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure children are also able to play in the pond water. I'm not sure about toddlers because I haven't actually played with them. I'll let you guys discover that on your own. So we're gonna have our turtle over here go and do a little bit of fishing. To my knowledge, and after playing with ponds for a very small amount of time, I do believe that the fish will breed in the pond. So you'll end up actually being able to have like this self-sustaining pond that will be able to, you know, provide you with more and more fish as time goes on. I also just noticed that we have like some fish in our inventory. I would have thought that once we, you know, put them in the pond that they would be out of our inventory, but we're catching things like seaweed, we're catching we've got like 3 perches when we only had 2, so I'm a little confused about how the whole fish system works, but I definitely think that you guys are going to be able to again create a self-sustaining pond. Around 7:45 or so is when the fireflies will come out to play. I think this is such a sweet little element. I think this definitely gives me very like, I don't know, like warm warm and fuzzy like country vibes. Also the fact that I can kind of place these effects throughout my lot also kind of just furthers my ability to like customize my creations and really make them feel like they're mine. Now I did want to show you guys how to further decorate your pond using some of the debug items. So let's go ahead and show that off now. For me, I feel like debug is just one of those underrated features in The Sims 4 because it's like a gold mine. It gives you access to so many objects that you normally wouldn't be able to use, and hello, a lot of them are free, which is perfect for like starter homes and low budget buildings and things of that nature. So unfortunately, some of these items I'm going to show you guys in debug are only for cottage living. However, you will be able to use different items that I am able to show you with the base game to create your ponds and make them look, well, a little more pond-like. For me, I like using this tree. It's huge, it's gigantuous. If you don't like how big it is, you can always like scale it down a little bit. I thought that would be kind of cool. Also, there are these little like, I guess, tall grass thingies that you could put in your pond. You can line your pond with. Again, doesn't this just look so much more realistic than the reeds that we ended up getting in the objects, in the pond objects module or whatever it is? I don't even know what the name of it and it is anymore, honestly, because like, who cares? This is beautiful. So yeah, we've kind of got a little ching happening here. Also, there is this broken down dock, right, that you could use. You could throw it in your pond, you can have it stick out of your pond, whatever your heart desires. I'm actually a huge fan of these little like grass clusters, so I'm gonna put in maybe like a few more because I like that. So unfortunately, these next debug items are strictly for cottage living, but I still think they're really cool and I want to show you guys kind of what they look like. Now, I'll be honest with you, even though these debug base game reads aren't perfect, they still look pretty damn good if you ask me. Now, there are these little clusters of like flowers and grass elements that to me personally also look really cool on the water. I don't know why. I'm not picky. It just kind of looks, I don't know, it just blends in, and I don't know, I like it. So if you wanted to put it in the middle, you're obviously gonna have a little bit of an issue because it clips to the actual ground itself. Just hit Alt and 9, you'll be able to rise those bad boys up to the water's surface, and yeah, you can just kind of play around with that and make it, you know, look however you want. There's also these little debug reeds here that look really nice, kind of just, you know, scattered throughout the pond. It's kind of up to you how you want to decorate it. There really isn't any rules to this ish. We have these little grass reeds too. These actually look good just scattered throughout your lot, but also you can incorporate these in with your ponds. I'm not gonna go like super gung-ho with it, but you kind of get like the general idea. There are some like darker ones too, and if you wanted to kind of blend in these base game grass strands, reeds, whatever you want to call them, into the ones with cottage living, you can just kind of, you know, blend them, and it isn't going to be perfect, but it actually doesn't look too bad either. So you get like the general idea of how this would look. Now, if you scroll down a little bit further, there is indeed this dock. I don't know if you can make this functional to where your Sims can actually like, you know, fish off of it. I don't believe you would be able to. Unfortunately, I don't think so. But it still looks pretty cool. And I do believe if you just put in that little fishing sign that you guys saw earlier underneath the outdoor water decor, you know, you can still have your like your Sims fish. It just won't be on the dock itself. So, you know, it's a little bit of a bummer, but it's not like the biggest deal ever. I actually think this is how the dock is supposed to go now that I think about it. But yeah, so I'm gonna add in a couple of those other elements just to see how they play with the debug items, just to see if there's any sort of interference or anything like that. I'm gonna scale up my lily pads. I think these are so cute, but I just feel like this looks a lot more natural. See how like the lily pad flowers kind of look like those flowers? You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. But yeah, it just looks a little more natural than just whatever you get with the pond objects. So I'm gonna put those in, and maybe we'll snag some water effects. Should we do that? Pond effects. I'm gonna put in, you know, like a couple dragonflies here, and then I'm gonna just toss in some country fish. I might put in maybe like one set of ducks. Like if this was really something I was trying to do, one set of ducks would be really cool. And then we're just gonna toss in like a bunch of firefly. It's a little bit difficult to see because it's so late at night, but as y'all can tell, there's no issues whatsoever using the debug items with the pond effects or objects. Everything seems to be working out as it should. Also, I never showed you guys what it looks like underneath the water using the unidentified object pond effect. Basically, it just kind of creates this little glow underneath the water that can be cool to look at sometimes if you wanted to create a nice little mysterious pond. But look at all that life and activity, you guys. I think y'all are gonna have a lot of fun playing around with this brand new pond tool. But anyways, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video here. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do, boo. Don't forget to go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Where the sun does not shine, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.